Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while. I'm back, but I assure you, I got a very good vid for you. Don't mind my second set of glasses without the glare protection. Don't get distracted. Okay. Okay, check this out. What we're going to talk about right now is pre-exhausting and the order of training a body part, the order of exercises to train a body part. Let's start by using back, all right? And the reason we want to use back is because this is a primary muscle that people have underdeveloped. They can't get it developed. And I want to stress, I want to emphasize is I guarantee most of the people who think they have a good back, or you see guys out there, they have lack of lats, lack of lower lats. They don't hang. A lot of bodybuilders whose lats tend to hang, Ronnie Coleman, Joel Stubbs. They have good back. They have the lats. Shows are won from the back. If you are competing in bodybuilding, classic physique, men's physique, shows are won from the back. If you have a great back, chances are your placing is going to be higher. Most people have the same problem. Their lats are very high, okay, and they don't know how to get them lower. Now, let's address that. The probable reason, the main reason why is primarily because of the order that they're doing an exercise. They keep training the same body part, the same part of the back in which they like first, okay? So let's just say that your lower lats are lacking. You want to start with the part of the back that is least the less underdeveloped part. So let's go to lower lats, okay? You would want to start with a low row, okay? Because you want to pre-exhaust that instead of doing upper lats, upper back first. You have a lot of guys in the gym who do this, and by the time they get to lower lats, all right, they can't reach the part of the back that they're trying to, or they're not addressing the fulcrum. That is pretty much more or less the pivot at which the joint and muscle intersects, and the right movement to use on that exercise. All right, this is a very, very complicated topic, but I'm going to try to simplify it. All right, let's start with this. Each muscle in the body has its own gas chamber, as my boy Chino likes to describe and likes to tell, and this is true. Each body part has its own gas tank, which means that it has its own glycogen storage. So what is the secondary muscle that we're using when we're training back? Biceps. All right. So you take someone who usually has a weak bicep, chances are their back is not going to be good because they are pre-exhausting the usage of the bicep first before they can even get to the lower lats of the back, okay? Which means that by the time they try to get to the lower lats, there's no more gas in the biceps. It's been exhausted. It's done. Or this can also mean that people who have great biceps, there's a higher glycogen storage in the bicep, but not as much as the back because the back is a larger muscle. That means that when they're training back, their biceps get so pumped up when they started with upper back that by the time they get to lats, which was in fact the weak point of the back, they cannot get to it and address it effectively and efficiently, and this is a problem. My advice to you, when training a body part that is underdeveloped or stubborn, you start with the weak area of that muscle first, and then you can address it. Also take into consideration my previous videos of addressing, and I have to do a review and I have to continue speaking on that, is the full extension in correlation to where there's engagement on the muscle. So in layman terms, we're using full extension in relation to where the muscle's being tensed, okay? Not necessarily just extending the arm forward, okay? So let's see what we're talking about. you have lower lat problems that are underdeveloped. Rather than get in the gym and the first thing you do is a set of pull-ups, okay? This is for advanced or intermediate guys that have somewhat of a back. If you don't have any foundation whatsoever, pull-ups are not a bad idea. But if you've already developed somewhat of a back, but your lats are underdeveloped, your lower lats are underdeveloped, starting with pull-ups, working your teres major is not going to help your lower lats develop. I tell you, about 80 to 90% of guys on stage have developed teres major. They have deltoids that they're moving their arms forward all the way on the lat spread and popping their back out like a turtle because they're trying to make something happen. I don't mean to be a wise guy, but that's exactly what's going on. They're trying to make something happen. Not to toot my own horn, because there's certain body parts that I have to work on, but back is not one of them. When I move my arms forward, I don't move them forward all the way because my lats are hanging. They're low. They're hanging. That is because with the help of Chino, with the help of myself, my own knowledge, I have addressed this problem. Okay. Now, granted, everyone is going to be blessed in a certain body part. Usually, someone who tends to have great limbs tends not to have a great center of their body. In other words, usually if they have great biceps, triceps, arms, shoulders, chances are their back, chest is going to be underdeveloped. Example of that is Phil Heath. Those of you who see Phil Heath now, when he first hit the scene, he had a very weak back. His chest, to a certain extent, is still underdeveloped. The reason why is because the limbs are the first thing that get engaged more so than the center. And if you flip it the other way with the center, okay, chances are that they have to work a little bit harder to develop certain limbs of their body parts. Granted, I have good biceps and a back. I had to work just a little bit harder on developing my tricep. But this process can go faster if you work effectively and efficiently. Phil Heath, as arrogant as he is, you got to give it up. He just so happens to be one of the more intelligent bodybuilders in the way they lift. No names, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or call them out. There's certain bodybuilders who still, to this day, cannot get certain weak points of their physique addressed and to come up. And they're not going to, because they continue to train the same way. This is no secret, guys. I don't care what you take, what supplements you take. If you don't train correctly in a certain order, once you've developed a foundation of the body, I'm not talking about just beginners. I'm talking about once you develop somewhat of a foundation in your physique, you will continue to have the same weak points in your physique, so you have to make adjustments. All right? There are some people that have certain body parts that are better than others. You take John De La Rosa, if you will. John can do leg extensions and his calves are going to grow. He is limbs dominant. Does that mean that he can't get anything else? No, that's not what it means. It means that you have to work a little bit harder and you have to do a little bit different things to address those areas to come up. So if you're going in the gym and you keep on doing pull downs, pull-ups, and you expect for your lower lats to develop, you expect for separation or thickness to come in your back, it's not going to come because of the order in which you're training that muscle, that body part. Remember, every muscle has its own gas tank. Every muscle has its own glycogen storage. The bigger the muscle, the more glycogen, the more gas that muscle will have. So keep that in mind. If I'm going to start with a huge muscle like back, all right, my biceps are going to have a smaller gas tank than the back. If I worked and exhausted all of this gas on training the upper back, I'm not going to have anything left to train the lower back. All right. Once again, I hope this has been very helpful for you in developing your physique. And check my vids out. Let's judge my physique. All right, guys. Bye.